Wembley in the sunshine, it's what Liverpool are well used to seeing by now, but this is a view that we will never tire of, will we? The first silverware of the season is up for grabs today. Arne Slot is back at Wembley, looking to become the first Dutchman to manage the Community Shield winners, while Liverpool, they're hoping to get their hands on this trophy for what would be the 17th time in their history. Virgil van Dijk, meanwhile, of course, missed out on a trophy lift here last March. He will be wanting to put that right today. And the new boys too will, of course, be up for this one. 4 of them start today. We'll have the full team news for you in just a minute as we build up to kick-off at the National Stadium. It's Crystal Palace against Liverpool for the Community Shield, and we are live here at Wembley until kick-off, when you can listen to full match audio commentary with Steve Hunter and Nigel Spatman. Yeah, warm welcome to pitchside at Wembley. I've got Ray Houghton and Jason McAteer alongside me here. Loads to get into ahead of this one, but let's not keep you waiting any longer for the Liverpool team news. Mark Benstead has got the starting 11. Mark.
It's been 77 days since these two sides last met, and Liverpool were of course presented with the Premier League trophy for a 20th time. Both clubs had fabulous campaigns last time out, but that is in the past. It all starts again here today. Arne Slot can't call on Ryan Gravenberch this afternoon. He's suspended after that red card in that last match of last season, but he can include 4 of his new summer signings in today's starting 11. Liverpool's lineup in full is as follows then. Alisson Becker returns in goal after missing the last couple of games of pre-season. It looks like there'll be a back 4 with Milos Kerkez, who started every Premier League game for Bournemouth last season, on the left, and Jeremy Frimpong, who's a league winner in Germany and Scotland, on the right, with Virgil van Dijk and Ibou Konate as the 2 centre-halves. It looks like there'll be Curtis Jones and Dominic Szoboszlai as the 2 holders in midfield, with Florian Wirtz in advance of them in a number 10 role. Mohamed Salah off the right, Cody Gakpo off the left, and Hugo Ekitike to lead the line. On the bench, Mamashvili, Endo, McAllister, Chiesa, Elliott, Robertson, Nayoni, Doak and Mgoa. Yeah, that is the Liverpool side for today. Nigel Spatman is on commentary duty today, and he's with me now to pick through the Liverpool side that Arne Slot has gone with. In terms of the new additions, what do you think they bring to this side this season? What have they added?
Well, what they add is enthusiasm, because they're at a new club. They want to do well at Liverpool. They know they're going to have to perform well to show the faithful here today that they're good enough to play for this great club. But on the good side, I feel, is that they've got the likes of Virgil back and Alisson in goal, which brings them that mentality, that stature to help them in a big game like this against Crystal Palace today. But those young players that have come into the squad, I think Liverpool have signed some wonderful players, have got to go out there and express themselves today and show everybody that they've got that shirt on and they're good enough to wear it.
I've just guessed at what I think the formation will be, but there is that sort of question mark, so we don't know how the manager intends to use all these players. But do you imagine Florian Wirtz does his best work in that number 10 role?
Well, I've done the Bundesliga when he's been playing, and he comes off the left-hand side a little bit and drifts in, but in a different formation. In Leverkusen, who play a back 3, so I think more central, get him on the ball. If he can get in those little pockets, he'll make things happen, because he brings creativity to the team. And with Frimpong with his pace down the right-hand side, Mo Salah may be coming off the line a little bit. The movement has got to be good, and then Ekitike, who's a wonderful young talent on the other side, and Gakpo, who finished the season so well. Going forward, we have an abundance of talent. It's that little bit of defensive stability that we need, and I think that's shown up a little bit in pre-season, and they want to start that right today and get Szoboszlai and Jones to make sure they sit in, because they both want to go forward and join in. Someone's got to be disciplined in there today.
And just on that attacking threat, we've got 2 fullbacks, 2 new fullbacks, but 2 guys you like to attack. There'll have to be a little bit of responsibility in that.
Yeah, absolutely. But don't forget, when we were in our plough, I mean, you've got Robbo going down there, you've got Trent bombing on. It did leave us a little bit exposed at times, but I think maybe that you let Frimpong go forward a little bit more, and then maybe just sit in a little bit as a left back and cover the 2 centre backs if you needed, or even into midfield and help out this defensive midfield. But it's got to be fluid. But it's about getting the understanding. It's not like when we were talking off camera, me and Ray were saying, well, when we were here at Liverpool, normally brought in 2, maybe 3 players tops into a team, into the squad. and that was easy to get into the team and get the understanding and the mental ability to what you've got to bring to the team. But when you bring in 4 or 5, it's completely different. So the big lads have got to step up and help the other ones through today.
I'll just quickly run through the Palace team for today's game then as well. It's the same side that Palace went with in the FA Cup final victory against Manchester City. Just 2 new faces brought in over the summer for them. Neither start here at Wembley today. So it's Dean Henderson in goal. 3 centre-halves of Mark Gay, Max Lacroix and Chris Richards. The midfield will be Tyree Mitchell as left wing-back, Daniel Munoz as right wing-back, Daichi Kamada and Adam Wharton as the 2 central midfielders. Then it's that attacking front three that have caused so many teams so many problems last campaign. Abere Eza, Ismail Assar as the 2 wider players, and Jean-Philippe Mateta through the middle. On the bench is Walter Benitez, the new sub-goalkeeper, then Lerma, Klein, Hughes, Esser, Edouard, Sosa, Deveni and Solomon Cardines. One quick word on Palace then. Yes, they've kept the big names, that's a boost for them, but no real additions to the squad to add to what they did.
Yes, but they all know their jobs within the team. Mateta up top, who had a fantastic season. Eza in the middle of the park. Nunez, who likes to get down the right-hand side. I'm just sorry for Glasgow that they've not backed him yet. Maybe they're waiting to sell a couple of players before they bring in players. But for Palace, at least they've got a solid team. They know their jobs within that team and make it difficult for Liverpool today.
Jean-Philippe Mateta has been a real danger man for Palace. 17 goals last season. Why has he played so much better and been so much more prolific under this manager than predecessors?
Well, that's you bring in a different voice on the training ground, different method, playing with a back 3, playing that number 9 role, but getting midfield players up to join in with you. But he's led the line so well, and he's come back from that injury absolutely amazingly well. So I think that they're going to struggle to hold on to him before the window closes. And all Palace fans who I've met today in London on the way up are saying he's so important to their team, they need to hold on to him.
Just finally, on playing at Wembley, you've done that, you've been here, you've got mixed memories, of course, of your time here. What is it like to walk out? What does this place do to a player? Can it inspire also? Can it deflate some players?
Well, that's the one. You've got to stand up and be counted. The atmosphere, the warm day, it's really roasting here pitchside today. The pitch looks magnificent, but it does drain your legs. So it's about going out there and doing the first things really well, your first pass, your first header, your first tackle, whatever it is, and get that confidence. But make sure that you can last the 90 minutes if that's what the manager wants from you.
Jason, I'm sure you'll last the 90 minutes. You're still an athlete. I would not like to be playing in this conditions here today, Becky. It worked out. Liverpool have won the Community Shield in recent years, but they haven't won it here at Wembley since way back in 1989. That is something we'd like to change today.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed, Mark. Much more to come from Mark Benstead throughout the course of the next hour before kick-off. But it's a warm welcome to you guys on what is a beautiful day here at Wembley. Looking resplendent in your suits, may I say?
It's Wembley, isn't it?
It is Wembley.
I've just got to say though, for football and footballers out there, it's a little bit too warm.
I was just going to say, because they're going to be playing, it's just under 30 degrees today they'll be out there. I mean, they have been out in Hong Kong and Japan.
Acclimatised
so used to humidity. But I mean, gorgeous atmosphere outside. It's a real family day this, Jace, isn't it? And I think as well, maybe a little bit more competitive than just the friendly tag that it's given.
Well, for the weather, they should be used to it because they've been serial visitors here, haven't they, in the summer with FA Cups and League Cups and stuff. So they should be used to this weather. But you're right, it's been a decent pre-season for Liverpool, you know, on tour. Getting away, Asia, saving a lot of purposes from a commercial point of view. But also I think with so many signings being brought in, it's obviously giving the manager, you know, time to look at his squad thoroughly, get them in an intimate environment where he can chop and change things, where results, you know, don't really tend to matter early on in pre-season. But we've seen the team evolve as the pre-season games have gone on. So probably one we're going to look at this afternoon that possibly could feature on Friday night.
Yeah, in terms of the weather, Ray, we should say that if it goes the distance, Liverpool will be spared extra time today. It is straight to penalties, which, given the season kicks off in just 5 days' time, is probably no bad thing.
Yeah, it'll be good for the players because they'll know in the knowledge that they're only going to play the 90 minutes, and after that it will go to penalties. But the manager will be looking at this from the perspective of who's going to pick on Friday. You know, yeah, of course you want to win here. You lost here in the League Cup, which bad taste in the mouth, but you want to come back and you want to do well today. But the most important thing, I think, from the manager's point of view, to look at who's fit, who's ready to go in the first game of the season, because as league title holders, Liverpool got a big target on the back. Everyone is going to be playing, whether it's at Anfield or whenever you're playing away from home, everyone will want to beat them, and they've got to understand, comes with that is a huge pressure. So the players who have been here for a while will understand what Liverpool Football Club's about. The new boys, they're wondering what's going to happen to them. They had a little taste of it on Monday when we played against Athletic Club Bilbao in the 2 matches. They were sampled the atmosphere at Anfield and what it brings on match day. This is where you want to be, because this is where you know you've won something. Like Palace won the FA Cup, Liverpool are playing in the Community Shield because they've won the league. So this is where your level wants to be season on season, because you are showing that you are a club with ambition, that are going to win things, and that's what the new players have got to learn very quickly.
Just touching on the question you asked about the occasion, and Ray's right. I think for footballers, certainly playing in this game, their season starts here because it is a trophy. Let's not underestimate it. It's a trophy. It's a beautiful looking trophy, and you know, for the players, like Ray said, some of them are looking at maybe trying to get in the team still, think that they've got an opportunity on Friday. They'll want to showcase what they've got today. I think for the fans, it serves them great because the tickets are a lot cheaper, so you know, there's more opportunity for the likes of families to come and kids to see the team. The weather's great, and like Ray said, I mean, for top players, this is where they want to play, because ultimately you're playing for something.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, you know, that breeds something as well. So there's a lot of plus points for this game today.
There will, of course, be a period of silence pre-match for Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva. We've seen a series, Ray, of very moving and emotional tributes throughout pre-season, really, and today will be no different.
Yeah, it's hard to put into words, the devastation.
Yeah.
You know, not just for Liverpool Football Club, but for Diogo and his brother and their family and friends, and what they're going through at the moment is unimaginable for anyone who hasn't sampled it. You know, our hearts and our love and prayers go out to his family, his wife and his children, and these really dark times that they're going through. But one thing we know is the Liverpool family will support them all the way. That is for sure.
Absolutely. Let's remind you of the Liverpool team that will start this afternoon against Crystal Palace. Jason, is this pretty much what you would expect? We have to say, by the way, if you're looking at that and wondering where's Ryan Gravenberch, he became a father last night. So I think that gives them a pass to miss the Community Shield. A big congratulations to Ryan.
Do we know a boy or a girl? Or?
I don't personally. I'll try and find out for you, but it is a baby, yeah. So no Ryan Gravenberch for very valid reasons. But aside from that, is that by and large what you would have expected today?
Just to touch on Ryan Gravenberch as well, he misses Friday through suspension, so the manager, so the manager obviously won't have him in his thoughts, so that obviously gives the opportunity to someone like Curtis Jones, who's going to start today. I think McAllister's been in and out of pre-season, so whether he's up to speed, I'm not so sure, but obviously Curtis will have one eye on possibly doing well today and obviously playing on Friday. But I think, to be honest, Bex, I think that looks like the team that I would certainly pick for Friday. I don't think I'd make any changes. It is a little bit a precarious situation because there is 4 or 5 new signings in that team, and we don't know how they're going to settle in an environment where there's 3 points up for grabs. But they've looked really good in pre-season, and they're top quality players, so they should settle quite quickly.
Let's speak about the new signings. I mean, we could probably do a whole show on the new signings, right? It's been such a busy window, but we'll start with the guy who I think has probably sold the most shirts, Florian Wirtz. I mean, he looks a total class act. Not that we would expect anything less.
Yeah, look, listen, he's done remarkably well. He had a really bad injury over in Germany, and he's come back super strong from it. He looks in really good form. I've got a little concern about him just because of the price tag. That's the only thing. Now, Jason and I were talking about before the game, and Jason said he's came out and he's been really buoyant about his ability and what he wants to do at the club, and he seems to be, you know, in a very sound place mentally in what he's prepared to do on the pitch, and I think that's great. But he's only going to get tested week in, week out when he's playing for Liverpool. I seen him the other evening on Monday. I thought he handled the occasion very well. He always looks to get into the right position, sees things quickly. He can create goal-scoring opportunities, he can score goals. He's got the all-round game, but that's my only slight concern at the moment, how he handles that pressure. None of us have been in that situation before. It's very difficult, I'm sure. But when you come for over 100 million, you know, there is a pressure with that price tag. But just looking at him, he looks a really confident lad. He'll be given a platform to go out and produce the football that he can. He's just got to do it on a regular basis. The Liverpool public have taken to him straight away. They can see a player. They know when someone's got genuine ability. but he's got to do it on a consistent basis.
About it, right, to be honest.
I know, I know some people.
I think his attitude, I think national team player, I think he's got the skill set to carry that kind of price tag. I think he showed it in pre-season. You can argue pre-season's played maybe at a half a canter, but I think he's got the physical strength to handle the Premier League and what's going to be thrown at him, and I think he's got the mental capacity to handle what you need to be like to play for Liverpool, because you have to win here. And you know, he's carrying the number 7 as well, massive number at Liverpool, bigger than the 10. But I think he's got everything to carry that price tag.
Okay, thanks lads. Silverware, of course, then up for grabs today, and someone else who starts this afternoon, Cody Gakpo, is determined to make this count.
It was a good pre-season from the team. I think we worked very hard, enjoyed some good games as well. But yeah, I think everybody's eager to start now the upcoming weekend. So yeah, can't wait. We have a good group in general, and that makes it maybe a little bit easier to adapt for new players to come in. And I think a lot of the players already knew each other, maybe from playing against each other in national team or things like this. For example, Jeremy and Flo, they came from the same club, so that's also easy. Jeremy plays with the Dutch boys in the national team, all those kind of things. So yeah, I think they adapted well and quick, and hopefully they feel at home as well. So yeah, it's good.
And it must have been nice for them to get their first taste of Anfield on Monday night as well.
Yeah, it's always special to play there, even for the boys who play longer than a few months. So I hope they enjoy it.
And nice for you to be on the score sheet as well.
Yeah, always nice to score goals, and yeah, happy with that.
And obviously we turn our attention to the Community Shield now. It's obviously always nice to go to Wembley.
Yeah, obviously we're going to play the Community Shield final. So it's going to be an important game for us to start the season well. So that's what we're here for, and we're going to give it our best shot, and hopefully we come back with the Community Shield. I think if we can play a good game, good performance, get the trophy back home, then we have a good momentum for the rest of the beginning of the season. And to begin well is always very important. Obviously, it's a very good side. I think they proved that last season as well against us, but also against other teams. They didn't win the FA Cup without quality, so that means they have a lot of quality, a lot of good players, and they deserve to win that trophy. And so it's going to be a tough game with some good players on their side, with good players on our side, and hopefully with us ending with the win.
Yeah, the thoughts of Cody Gakpo there. I mean, naturally all the attention pre-season has been on the new signings, but Cody Gakpo has very quietly been going about his business very effectively, Ray. He's got 4 goals in pre-season so far, and you get the sense that with Luis Diaz having departed now, he knows he will have to shoulder some more responsibility.
Well, not only that, he's the number 1 for that position now on that left-hand side of the front 3. You know, we know the quality that Cody's got. He's shown it on numerous occasions. He loves coming in the left-hand side on his right foot. He's got genuine pace to get past players and an eye for goal. Can create opportunities as well. Only thing I think for him this season is keeping fit. And you can say that about any player, but you know, he had his injury problems last season. He was out for spells. But when he's fit and healthy, he's a really top-class performer. I really like him. I think he's got so much to offer over this left-hand side. And he really works well with the midfielders. You know, you can see that he's got that an awareness to play little 1-2s, getting in around that final third, create chances, and he seems to be a real asset. The fact the players really like him, the fans like him, so it's up to him now to just cement that position to make him the number 1.
Do you know what I like about him, Ray? I mean, we're just looking at the goals he scored and how effective he can be at one end, but he puts a shift in for the team. You know, he doesn't shirk his defensive responsibilities. He doubles up, he gets back, he tracks back into good positions, he sees danger, which is a great attribute to have. And I think he has made himself number 1 because Diaz is gone, but I still think he would have been the number 1 choice for the manager, because I think Diaz probably did switch off from time to time when it comes to them defensive duties. But Gakpo for me he's grown at the club as well, because that position when he first come wasn't really his. He was played in different positions, but he does favour that left-hand side. Now he's got it. I think we're seeing the best of him.
Well, we've got his heat map here. This is a combined heat map, I should say, from the games against AC Milan and Bilbao, and it's very clear there where the boss wants him to operate on that left-hand side, which which is his favoured position, Ray. And there's no one better really sort of cutting in from that left and then hitting a right foot shot.
Yeah, but he can go off his left side as well. I mean, he's predominantly a right-footed player, but he can get to the byline and create chances doing it that way as well. But even though the fullback knows where he's going to go, he knows he wants to get on his right foot, the fullback still can't challenge him. They're afraid to go in because he'll just nick it away from you because he's got that pace. He's got very few players. Gravenberg's got it. There's not many that can just nick it past you and go again because they've got that extra bit of pace about them. He's certainly that individual that can do it. But his all-round game is really good. And Jason just mentioned about his defensive qualities. Don't forget in set plays, we're not the tallest of teams, so we really need a bit of height back there to help out from set plays. And he offers that. At 6'3", whatever height he is much needed in that defensive area when we are defending.
You know the other thing as well, right? I think this season, we're going to see Slot tactically change it. With it. Like there's a bit of an evolution going on here with the way he's thinking. I think last season predominantly had Jurgen Klopp's team, didn't want to change too much. The players all knew their jobs. He quietly went about his business, tweaking this and that. I think this season, you'll see some big tweaks. I think in the sense of he'll go to a more 4-2-3-1, which I think will help the likes of Gakpo and Salah because they've got a target man now. Ekitike will play centre forward more often than not. He'll be a focus point where we're not relying on a front three now. It's a three behind a centre forward, and I think that will help Gakpo putting balls in a box, feeding off a player, what little 1-2s coming in on his right foot. So yeah, it's a big season for the two wide players.
Well, he starts this afternoon at Wembley, does Cody Gakpo. We are going to go to Steve Hunter now and get his thoughts. I'm sure you're looking forward to this one, Steve.
Thank you so much, Becky. Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be back, isn't it? And what a place. Anfield South, we call this. We've won so many charity shields, community shields, and it's known these days throughout the years. There's been some exciting signings coming in, hasn't it, to the Liverpool camp, matched sadly, of course, by incredible tragedy and the loss of our dear friend, the beloved Diogo Jota and his brother Andre, who we will be celebrating ahead of the game. We will be remembering him with a minute's silence here at Wembley today. But Crystal Palace obviously had a great season last year, didn't they? They're well marched under Oliver Glasner. They won the FA Cup final. I think us as Liverpool fans were probably not too disappointed that Palace went on to win that game. And that set up what should be a cracking game here today. The heat out there, temperature-wise, Becky and the crew will tell you, it's really hot down there. It's really humid. So I think as well, you know, that Liverpool players will be certainly acclimatised to that after coming back from the Far East tour, won't they? So that has to be seen as a good thing as far as Liverpool are concerned today. But really excited for the new season ahead. As I say, there's some great signings in there. Florian Wirtz the other night looked absolutely amazing. His touch, see how he links up with Ugo Ekitike and Mohamed Salah and Cody Gakpo again today. But really looking forward to this one. As always, Nigel Spackman, the crafty Cockney Scouser we call him, he will be joining us for full match commentary later on. Now, let's relive the action from the last time Liverpool were involved in the Community Shield 2022, Manchester City at Leicester's King Power Stadium.
How best do you surmise the Community Shield? It's a game that you want to win. It's a game that's nice to win. But whenever Liverpool and Manchester City go head-to-head, it is always full-blooded. Alexander-Arnold, goal! Trent Alexander-Arnold's whip squeezes the ball in. That's the ball. Foden. Well, Adrian's getting in the way of everything, but not this time. Nunez! Oh, it's surely come off the arm of Ruben Diaz. He squeezes it home quite beautifully. Man round the corner is Robertson across goal. Nunez! That's it today.
Yeah, you can hear the noise behind us. That is because Liverpool have just come out for their warm-up here at Wembley. But to go back to what we've just seen there, guys, that was the Community Shield win over Manchester City in 2022. Darwin Núñez scoring in the 94th minute, actually on his competitive debut that day, Jason. Only been with the club about 6 weeks. It was confirmed last night that he has departed. It's been an eventful 2 years. Does it feel like the right time to part ways?
I'm quite sad, to be honest.
I think a lot of people
I wasn't
had a lot of
Nunes fan.
affection for him, didn't they?
Yeah, he was a bit of a cult hero as well. I like that South American side to him, that aggressiveness. Yeah, I'm just sad it hasn't worked out. Listen, he had his critics and he missed his fair share of opportunities, but he also contributed to some big goals and some big moments. Last season he came on as a sub and I think grabbed a couple of big Brentford away, wasn't it? You know, big moments in a season. I liked him around the dressing room. I liked that aggression he showed. He's obviously got that moment where he runs down the steps here when he was injured and everyone like adored him after that. So I'm sad to see him go, but you know, I think that when a centre forward comes in and we're caught in another centre forward, I think he's then looking at it thinking, am I going to play? And he's probably in the peak of his powers right now, so he needs to go out and play consistent football, and he wasn't getting that here. So I can see it from both sides, and I wish him well. I'm just gutted it never worked out, but I do wish him well.
Yeah, and I think Jason's right, is we remember some very, very good times with him still. The Brentford game, obviously Newcastle away, was absolutely massive at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, listen, one thing with Darwin you can never argue about is his attitude. He gave you 100% every time he went onto the pitch. Effort, energy, commitment to try to do he's very. But I actually felt sorry for him. I always thought he was a lost soul up front. Yeah. He always looked like he was isolated. There was no one around him. And yet, I believe he's one of the funniest lads at the club. He's meant to be hilarious. Yeah. He never put that across when he was on the pitch. And I did have some sympathy with him from that point of view. But I'll go back to the amount of money that Liverpool got in return from was probably the right time. In a year's time, he might not have got that. If he wasn't playing and he was only a bit part player, I think his money would have reduced and reduced and reduced. So I think all round, for his point of view, having a fresh start somewhere else and Liverpool bringing in the money is probably the right time.
I'm not surprised with Ray. I don't know whether you're surprised as well of actually where he's gone. I mean, I know Saudi's an attractive proposition financially for footballers, but I feel he's got more to offer. And I think if you look at the likes of the money Sesko and likes of Hoyland was all paid for, I put him above them. I think he's got better qualities than them, and I'm surprised someone hasn't had a little go on him, you know.
Well, we do wish him all the best with his next step, Darwin Nunes. Just to remind you what is coming up with us today. Once we're told to depart from our position pitchside here, Steve and Nigel Spatman are going to take over. They will guide you through all the action with our live audio commentary service. Still to come, we're going to hear from Arne Slot. Then after full time, we'll be back down here pitchside to reflect on the game. Then the post-match show will also be available to listen to in The Reaction. That is the club's official podcast platform. You can watch the full game on LFC TV from 12 noon tomorrow. And look out for Inside 2, which takes you behind the scenes of all the events here today at Wembley. That will be on Facebook and YouTube tomorrow. So Liverpool are here at Wembley. We're warming up behind us at the moment. The stadium is slowly filling up, but it's a really nice atmosphere here in North London today. The Reds hoping to give themselves the perfect platform to start this new season with some silverware in the shape of the Community Shield before the real business begins next week. Only 5 days to go now before the start of the new Premier League campaign. And a trophy in the cabinet before Bournemouth would be the ideal preparation, wouldn't it? Right, we are going to hear from the boss now. Here is Arne Slot. His thoughts, of course, here today will be with the family of Diogo Jota.
First of all, the tragedy impacted us, of course, most. But again, it impacted far more his wife, children, parents. But it impacted us definitely as well. And the tributes that have been done since were all very emotional and impressive. So every time we were somewhere, started off, I think, in Preston. And in Asia as well, it's been emotional but impressive as well.
And a chance now to win your first trophy of the season.
Yeah, which is nice if you can start the season with the chance of winning something, because normally you have to play numerous games before you can win something. If it's the League Cup, FA Cup, let alone Premier League or Champions League, normally you win something in the end of the season. and now we have a chance to win something in the beginning of the season. Unfortunately, we face a very good Crystal Palace that have been very difficult to win against for us, because we played 1-1 against them in the last game of the season, and they showed in the last final and in the semi-final, by the way, as well, how hard it is to win a one-off game of them. So I think most of the players that they have are still there. So yeah, even more reason to know what a difficult team it is to play against. Counter-attacks, set pieces, long ball to Mateta. So they have also the individual quality of their forwards who can create out of nothing something. So very good team, and it indeed gives us. But that's, I think, what Bilbao did and Milan also already did as well, and the Japanese team, by the way, also gave us a lot of competition. So, and that's definitely what Palace is going to do, because they kept the team together. So they just hit the ground running again, probably after being a few days off, and they're still the same team. So a team that performed really well, especially in the end of last season, and so yeah, a good challenge for us to start the season with.
Yeah, the boss is right about Crystal Palace being a threat. However, quiz question for you.
Quiz.
We do love a quiz. Out of the last 16 meetings between these two teams, how many have Liverpool lost?
I think 2.
Ray's going with 2. What are you saying?
They've been a bit of a nemesis, Crystal Palace. How many have Liverpool lost in 16 games against Palace? How many have they lost? How much you say?
I said 2.
4.
The answer is 1. And the point of that question is that exactly what you said. There is this perception that they're a bit of a bogey side, but apparently not. It's all a myth, Jason.
It's just a myth. Yeah, it's like the man on the moon. It's just a myth.
We'll be fine today. It's all a myth.
Yeah, I think. Well, he kind of spoiled the party a little bit last season, didn't he, with the 1-1 draw at the end? Yeah, I could probably see that. Listen, I've enjoyed watching Palace evolve under Glasner. Difficult start to the season last year. I think it took them 9 games before they put a win on the table. But towards the end of the season, they got stronger and stronger. And I think Eze, Guehi, big players. They've got Mateta. They've got goals and physicality, great from set pieces. Haven't brought many players in the transfer window, but I think the success for Palace's transfer window is keeping these players, keeping Eze, keeping Guehi, and keeping Mateta. So we'll have to see how it pans out for them. But on their day, they enjoy a day out at Wembley, as Villa will tell you, and Manchester City. They fell foul of 2 great performances from Palace and an FA Cup win. Yeah,
I was going to say, Eze, of course, wrote his name into the history books at Crystal Palace here in May against Manchester City. I mean, he will have fond memories of playing at Wembley, but he's been heavily linked with the likes of Arsenal. Palace obviously will be desperate to keep hold of him, right?
There's been a few, isn't there?
Yeah.
He's not the only one. There's quite a few at Crystal Palace who've been talked about going to other clubs, but they're still here. And they look focused, they look ready. I watched them coming in and just looking around the pitch about an hour and a half ago, and they seemed at ease with themselves and the position that they're in. They'll go out and give a good account of themselves. They love the Palace fans, they really do. They get behind them, very supportive of the side. They only lost 11 league games last season, and even for the start that they had, they were really difficult to break down, and that's down to the tactics that they employ. They play with a 3-4, and they look after the other 3. The front 3 have got licence to roam and do what they want. That's 7 behind them. They work really hard defensively, not to give up too many chances. Whether they can do that today with the system that Liverpool are going to employ, I'm not so sure.
Well, we're going to stay with Eze for just a moment, because we've got a diagram here which basically shows he had 8 Premier League goals last season, Jason. It shows exactly where they were all scored from, and it's that same zone, isn't it? The penalty spot to the rear of the box. So Liverpool know where the danger comes from with him.
Yeah, he would be probably Palace's Wirtz. He would be that kind of player for them. He's licensed to roam. He plays a central area, but he'll drift left, he'll drift right, and he picks up some really good areas where he can receive the ball, and he's very comfortable in possession. He can go left, he can go right, he's got a great little acceleration. I've got to be honest, I know we spoke about the transfer policy, but I'm very surprised to see him still there. I think he's got a lot to offer, and I'm sure there'll be big clubs looking at him.
Strong in the ball,
he's very
physical,
strong.
he's very physical, very hard to,
right.
great, hard to push off the ball. You know, some players go up to him and just give him a little nudge, and they're falling off. Not him. Great upper body strength, big legs. You know, you can hold people off. Gets away from you with his pace, and as we've just seen there, he's got an eye for goal. You know, there's not many midfielders that get into 10s or 12 goals a season, but in a team that wasn't winning that many, to score the goals that he did.
8 assists, right, as
8
well.
assists, you know, he's got a real all game about his play. You know, it's not just about scoring, creating, he works hard, but he's given a little bit more licence to the rest to get forward, because the manager knows he's their go-to player. He's the one that can make a difference in a tight game.
Okay, thanks lads. We're going to catch up with Mark Benstead now. You might have just heard him announcing the Liverpool teams behind us here at Wembley. He's been pretty busy today. Earlier on he met up with a couple of fans outside the stadium. This is what they had to say to him.
Okay, well, this is when supporters get the first indications of how the new season is going to go for the football club. Will it be good, or will it be full of heartbreak? Over the course of the summer, Liverpool have had new faces into the squad. For Palace, they've kept their star names for now, but they've been dogged by off-field courtroom drama. What's the mood on the ground just now? Let's try and get a perspective on it. Paul Machin from Red Men TV is here to offer the Liverpool perspective, and Jimmy's here, Palace podcaster and comedian, to give us a bit of Palace insight. Jim, let's go back to a happy place. Back here last May, Palace win the FA Cup for the first time in their history. What was that like? What did that mean to you?
Well, Wembley is our happy place now. You know, this is our third visit this year. I wouldn't have thought of that as a Palace fan. That day was fantastic. It all went in our way. Yes, we had a bit of luck, but we played brilliantly. I mean, everyone was crying at the final whistle. There were families there, including my dad's there, 77, never seen Palace win anything. It meant so much to us, and it was a beautiful day, and it will live long in the memory. Whatever happens today, whatever happens with UEFA and Europe and CAS, like, no one can take away that day from us. So it was beautiful.
Well, it felt that it was a cup win that a lot of Liverpool fans really sort of recognised and kind of resonated with because of the emotion, because of the rawness to it. Did you have kind of real feeling for Palace in the way they did it?
Yeah. To be honest, I saw that from both domestic cups, except that, you know, we got the joy of seeing a team that really wanted to win a trophy, and that without it actually impacting us the way that the League Cup final did. So no, I got some great vicarious joy from seeing Crystal Palace fans very happy. I've got a few family friends who are Palace fans, so I've always had a little bit of a soft spot for them. That will be put aside today, of course. But no, good on them.
Let's speak about joy. Let's speak about... I was going
to say, it felt like the nation was behind us. It really felt like the whole nation was behind Palace. I got so many messages after the final saying, thank you, you've brought football back. I was like, I didn't play in the game, but I'll take the credit. So it was lovely. It felt a very sort of wholesome win.
Certainly did. You mentioned joy. Let's bring it back to the joy of this summer. How have you found Liverpool being the top dogs in the transfer market, bossing things in the window? It's not a role we're used to sort of occupying, I guess.
Yeah, it's very confusing. I'm not sure how to feel. It feels like when's the other shoe going to drop? Like, it's not how Liverpool tend to conduct themselves. And that's not to say, and I'm sure, you know, Jim and fans of other football clubs will look and go, oh yeah, poor old Liverpool. You know, not really. Comparatively, Liverpool always tend to spend quite well. We buy big name players for big money when we need to. But this season's been something else. You know, I remember the last time we won the league, the talk was of, you know, building on what we had, and Liverpool did that quite well that summer. But this summer it really feels like a reboot. They're getting the best of both worlds, you know, keeping hold of Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah, and then adding, you know, particularly in Florian Wirtz, world-class talent on top.
It might not be done yet. Who knows? That's the thing, isn't it? More could keep coming. From a Palace point of view, if I'd have said to you, look, when this game kicks off, you still got Eze, you still got Gay, you still got Watt, and all these guys, you probably wouldn't have believed me, but that's the case.
I thought Gay was going to you guys, to be honest, and the fact we've got, could be one more game, could be more from those two is huge. To watch them walk out again would be brilliant. I think actually, our transfers haven't been amazing this season. We've plugged a few gaps, but there's obviously bigger questions to be asked. But I think right now it's quite a good time to be a Liverpool fan and a Crystal Palace fan in terms of what you guys are doing, in terms of what we're doing. This is the best time ever to be a Palace fan. So what happens. You're probably going to ask about Europe in a minute, but again, what happens. We're enjoying being here. We love coming to Wembley. So, you know, we don't expect to win transfer windows. We don't expect to make big signings, but all we hope is a little bit of progress here and there. And the Community Shield and FA Cup, to us, that's progress.
Podcaster, comedian and psychic, I am going to ask you about Europe. Have you been able to find any humour as a comedian in everything that's happened with this multi-club ownership issue, or have you just been bogged down with things you'd like to do to John Textor to make him pay for this?
I can't say those in public, unfortunately. I think it's very litigious. Yeah, I've got a whole. I'm touring next year, and I've got a whole bit in my show about how Palace are the most ridiculous football team in the world. It started as a 5-minute segment. It's 25 minutes now. There's so much stuff. So I think as a fan of a team like Palace, you have to lean into that sometimes and enjoy the kind of the morose and the ridiculous humour. I mean, I feel like Palace have, and Steve Parish, they've tried their best. Like they fought a good fight. You know, we protested at Sellers, at the UEFA headquarters. We did a whole email campaign. I feel like the fans have tried our best as well. It does feel a little bit like big clubs get away with stuff and smaller clubs get punished. But you can't sometimes stop the big cogs turning in the world. You just have to kind of accept where you are. It won't stop us enjoying today, enjoying back in May, the cup final. We'll just do what we do. If I end up having to go and watch Palace play against some farmers in Denmark, I'll go and do that. And we'll just enjoy it anyway. If you said to me back in May, you're going to start this season in a European competition, you know, and taking it. Although I said to you a minute ago, what would be very Palace is to go from the UEFA group stage, a Europa group stage, into losing the playoff against a bunch of Danish farmers, which is a very Palace thing to do. But we'll enjoy it, whatever happens.
We will check back in with you when you put 10 past those Danish farmers and are taking Europe by storm.
And when I'm stuck in the middle of Denmark and I can't get home for 3 weeks, yeah.
That's the one. Jim, Paul, brilliant. Great to get your thoughts ahead of this game. Yeah, plenty of optimism, excitement on the Wembley way ahead of this one, and two fan bases that at the moment are in pretty good form and have pretty good relations. We'll see what it's like come full time.
Oh, it's a great atmosphere on Wembley Way. I mean, you can see there from Jim's reaction just how much rain it meant to them getting their hands on the first ever trophy at Wembley here in May. But it feels like it's been tainted somewhat by what's happened since with Europe. Obviously, that should get them a place in the Europa League. They're at the moment in the Conference League, pending the result of an appeal, which we will find out tomorrow. But you can see why it's left a real sour taste in the mouths of Palace fans.
Yeah. I think it's very cruel. You know, you've done all your hard work. You've won the FA Cup. You think you're getting into a competition which give you really good experience for your players, drive great revenue for your football club, give you the opportunity to bring in players who might be better than you've already got. But now you can't do that because you're unsure if you've got the finances to do it. So I think it's really cruel what's happened to them. But I know the Palace as a club, I was there for 2.5 years. I know they'll be enjoying being FA Cup holders, and I look forward if they do get into Europe, giving it a real go. You know, they're a club that have got limited resources. I tell you what, you can hear them behind us, make a lot of noise, and they get behind their team.
It is disappointing, the European saga that they're going through at the minute because of the multi-club ownership, but you know, it's just a difficult area to look at, isn't it? You know, the percentage of shares that each club owns, like over the umbrella of the one ownerships, but that they'll fall under. So at the minute they're in the Conference League, but like Ray said, there's an appeal going on, so we'll see where they can go and if they can fix it. But they've earned the right to be there because of what they did at the back end of the season, which was fantastic. They are a very difficult team to play against, very organised. Glasner has them organised, but they are moving in the right direction, and it's a great time to be a Palace fan.
It is indeed. We've spoken about Eze, but let's have a look at the Palace side. You can see them warming up there at Wembley, who will face Liverpool today. This is their starting 11. I mean, in terms of the threats, aside from Eze, who we've spoken about, where do you expect it to come from? Mateta is an obvious one, I think.
Yeah, Mateta. I think anything with any team with pace, I think, could hurt Liverpool. You know, they will play deep. 3 at the back gives them the option to go 5 if they want. They can get protection from the 2 midfielders that'll sit deep. I think that's how they'll play tactically against Liverpool. I think they'll sit deep and try and play on the counter attack. As big as Mateta is, he can move. He's a willing runner. He likes to run in behind, but also when he goes, he'll stretch the pitch to make space for Eze just to drop into that hole. If they can get him on the ball in them areas we spoke about before, which is on the edge of the box, the graphic you showed before could show how lethal he can be when he pulls the trigger. You know, more or less he's going to hit the target.
I think one of their strengths could be one of their weaknesses. So the 2 wing-backs, Mitchell and Munoz, can get forward to good effect. Both of them like to get crosses into the box, but with the width that Liverpool play with Salah on one side and Gakpo on the other, if they do go forward, it's going to stretch the 3 centre-backs. Guehi's going to have to cover the left-back position, and likewise Richard's going to have to cover the right back position, and that will isolate the centre-back on his own in the centre of the pitch. So, as I say, going forward, they can be eye-catching, they can create chances, but the way that Liverpool change possession from defending to attacking, and the way that they do it, the pace that they do it, is absolutely incredible. So they're going to have to be careful defensively here, Crystal Palace.
It's a good point Ray makes. Having played wing back, it's always a cat and mouse, isn't it? You know, with the winger that wants to go that way, do you mark him or do you stay the other side of him and make him think about you? But I think Liverpool dominate possession, in which we've seen in pre-season, and the quality they've got with the players. I think more or less the wing backs will sit in and try and mark the likes of Salah and Gakpo.
Yeah, in terms of Mark Gay, I think a lot of Liverpool fans' eyes might be drawn to him. I mean, who knows what the next few weeks will hold, Jason, but is he someone that you admire?
Yeah, it is, and it's an area I think, listen, we spent a lot of money in an attacking areas, and I think we've kind of overlooked the fact that we do need a centre-half. You know, Konate's injury record, you know, in the past, Joe Gomez has been injured as well in pre-season. You know, it leaves us light. Where Robertson's had to fill in, Endo's had to fill in. It is an area that causes concern. Listen, he's a free agent next season. Will they cash in now? It's a precarious situation for Palace as well. But Liverpool are, you know, I think Liverpool would take him.
I know we spoke a slight concern about maybe the lack of height in terms of obviously Virgil van Dijk 6'5", you've got Ibu Konate 6'4", Mark Gay 6 foot. And you know, you want I was thinking about Cody Gakpo as well. He's one of the tallest in this team, but it's not a team at the moment that has a great deal of height.
No, they're not. Just with Mark, though. I mean, you know, Mark's a regular here at Crystal Palace. He plays, you know, every game for them when he's fit. If he comes to Liverpool, he might not get in the team for a little while. Is he prepared to wait and bide his time? That's one of the questions you've got to ask. Because if you're coming for big money, normally you think you're going to be in the team straight away. But at Liverpool, with the quality that they've got, that might not be the case. So you might have to be of the knowledge that if he does come to the club, that he'll have to wait and he'll get his chance eventually, and then he'll be in the side. But there's no doubt, England international, he's got quality about him. He's been a consistent performer for Palace week in, week out. So there's every good reason why you would take him.
Yeah, we've seen incredible scenes here at Wembley. Just finally, Ray, I want to ask yourself, in terms of the 1990 Community Shield or the Charity Shield, which you were a part of course, then it is something that was shared at the time. I think that's not something that we would expect now. It's obviously not going to happen.
Yeah, I think you need an outright. I think if you're doing it the right way, it's going to be an outright winner, whether it goes to penalties after 90 minutes. But listen to the noise in this stadium. Absolutely electric at the moment.
And some very emotional.
And that is really emotional,
yeah. For Diogo and his brother Andre, of course. It's a moment that I think we'll just let you soak in if possible, because they're going to see the Liverpool supporters there who are there in their droves to pay their respects.
Supporting our Community Shield ceremonial duties today are some of our 2025.
Very emotional scenes indeed. That is us done here pitchside for now. If you are watching us though on All Red Video or LFC TV, do stay with us for the live match. Audio commentary is on its way for you from Steve Hunter and Nigel Spatman. If you're watching this pre-match show on social media right now or on our YouTube channel due to rights restrictions, that stream will end before kickoff. So to find out how to listen to the match audio, go right now to our website, liverpoolfc.com. Steve Hunter will pick up on commentary duties after we bring you a little preview of a piece of content that will be out next week, and it's well worth a watch.
Yeah, I would say the best day for me in Liverpool.
Once again, the Kings of England.
An unbelievable feeling.
It was so special, full of emotions and relief.
Not just for me, but for everyone in the team.
And now when I see this picture, it's just amazing and very emotional.
Fist bumps, I think is the English word I did.
After the final whistle, I think it was just kind of bedlam everywhere you looked in the stadium.
To celebrate in front of the Cup when they were singing our songs.
That was an amazing day for the whole city, for the players, for the club.
Winning the Premier League this season is incredible. They know the love I have for them, and yeah, it's a great moment.
A little kid dream came true.
I always felt that the fans were waiting for a moment like this.
In this moment, I was just on top of the world.
It was a mix of relief, mix of satisfaction, like sense of mission accomplished.
Proud and feeling very blessed. We're just so happy that we actually did it.
I think this picture shows a lot about how we value every person here at this club.
To arrive at this particular season with a title that I've been chasing for a lot of years, it is a remarkable achievement. It's a moment that I will cherish forever. It was outstanding.
Wow, Diogo, what a guy, forever in our hearts. Can't wait for that, by the way. It's an LFC original film from the king of LFC filmmakers, Phil Reed, Paul Chili Charlton and Richard Johnson, that takes us inside the story of our historic 20th league title. It will be available to all subscribers on Tuesday. The film features in-depth interviews with Arne Slot and his squad and relives the campaign that culminated in those incredible scenes at Anfield, winning the title in front of fans again. That's what it is all about. And the football again here today at Wembley. We're back at Anfield South again. We've got the crafty Cockney Scouser, our favourite Cockney Scouser, Spackers, is with us. Top man, how are you?
I'm really well, Steve, thank you. I hope everybody had a good summer. Obviously not a great summer with what happened with Diogo. I was in Portugal at the time when that happened, and I loved him as a player, and he's going to be really missed by all of us, not just the fans, but us who work in media, and anybody listening today. There's a great piece on the BBC website today. Have a look at it. It tells you all about him, where he grew up, what happened, and what the person he really was behind the scenes.
So, it's the Premier League winners, Liverpool, against Crystal Palace, the FA Cup winners. I was joking before in the earlier piece. I think, as Liverpool fans, we probably weren't too disappointed that Palace won that. And on the day, they deserved it. They were brilliant as a team under Glasner, weren't they?
They had a brilliant second half of the season, Steve, and winning the FA Cup for a club like Crystal Palace was absolutely amazing. But for them, at the moment, it's all about what competition they're going to play in Europe, Steve.
Right then, let's check on the teams today before they come out onto the field at Wembley. You can see the Palace players in the tunnel, and Arne Slot has handed out 4 senior debuts today in Florian Wirtz, Ugo Ekitike, Jeremy Frimpong and Milos Kerkez. No Ryan Gravenberg, by the way, today. He's suspended for the opening Premier League game on Friday against Bournemouth at Anfield, but he sits this one out because his partner's due to give a baby, so we wish them all the best for that one today. Alexis McAllister on the bench today. Arne has said he's managing his fitness, and by the way, Liverpool giving a debut to their brand new Adidas white away strip here today. But Alisson is back in goal, great to have him back. Backline of Milos Kerkez, Virgil van Dijk the skipper, Ibu Konate and Jeremy Frimpong at right back, with Conor Bradley still out. Then Dominic Soboslai, Curtis Jones the midfield. Florian Wirtz will play as a 10 off Cody Gakpo, Hugo Ekitike and Mohamed Salah. Bench of goalkeeper Georgi Mamadashvili, Wataru Endo, Alexis McAllister, Federico Chiesa, Harvey Elliott, Andy Robertson, Trey Nyoni, Ben Doak and 16-year-old Rio Endomoa. Well, the fireworks are going off, making it even hotter up here on the gantry than it is already as the two sides enter Wembley Stadium. As for Crystal Palace, well, I can tell you that Oliver Glasner has named the same team that beat City to win the FA Cup. So Mark Gay lines up as their captain. So Dean Henderson in goal, Mark Gay, Maxence Lacroix, Chris Richards the back line, Tyrick Mitchell, Daniel Munoz at fullbacks, wing-backs, Adam Wharton, Daichi Kamada in the middle, and Eba Eze, Ismail Assar just off the danger man, Jean-Philippe Mateta. Chris Kavanagh is our referee for today. Paul Tierney is in charge of VAR. By the way, we will remember Diogo Jota and Andre Silva with a minute's silence before we get underway here. But if you're watching this pre-match show, by the way, folks, on social media or our official YouTube channels, due to rights restrictions, your stream will end just before kick-off. So find out how to listen to our match commentary here today. Just go to liverpoolfc.com, the club website, find all the details out of that one here today again. But the Liverpool players there, it was lovely before, wasn't it, when Ian Rush is out there, you know, and Rushy was there with Steve Parish, the Crystal Palace chairman, and they brought a little flower bouquet behind the goal where the Liverpool fans are. It was so emotional.
That was really emotional, and everybody stood up and applauded as Rushy and everybody walked along past the Liverpool fans in behind the goal, where all the Liverpool fans are in behind that goal to our right-hand side. It was very emotional, and the songs were starting and everybody were on their feet applauding. And yeah, this is just the first major game of the season, and Diogo's in our minds here. I'm sure he's down watching over us today.
And Liverpool back in Adidas, you won your first title in Adidas.
Yeah, absolutely, and that white kit is amazing. So, you know, the red kit's brilliant, but the white kit here today, in this heat, you're going to stand out on that pitch. But who's going to be worthy of wearing that red kit come Friday? That's what they're all playing for today.
Do you think Liverpool, with the heat today, that, you know, the experience in that incredible humidity in the Far East will benefit them here today? But we'll have a little silence before that, because I think they are going to play the national anthem, which they always do before the games here at Wembley Stadium. Fireworks are going off, make it even hotter for you, Spackers. But as I was saying, because the boys have been in the Far East, they've experienced the humidity, the heat, it's boiling out there in Anfield South. Will that benefit them coming into this one today?
I think it will benefit them a little bit, but some players have played 90 minutes, some have played 70 minutes, some are trying to get up to full fitness, Steve. But what we know about this Crystal Palace team is it's the same team that played in a cup final here. They all know each other's abilities, they know their roles within the team. That's what makes it difficult for Liverpool today. We've got 4 new players in this team today who have got to be on their toes, ready to go, and this is going to be a tough one. In the heat, it makes it even tougher.
Of course, it was 1-1 against Palace on the final day last season. The game at Selhurst Park, Liverpool won 1-0. Who got the winner? It's quite an apt goal scorer. Shots.
He scored so many important goals, 1-0s, 2-1s. That's what he could do. And then somebody else has got to step up now and do that. Maybe it'll be Florian Wirtz. If we can get him in the game, in those little pockets between Ekitike and the back three of Palace, he could cause all sorts of problems today.
And by the way, on this day in 1977, we signed your former gaffer. Wow, King Kenny.
Yeah, King Kenny. Kevin Keegan moving on. King Kenny coming out. He loved the big occasion, Kenny, as we all know, and he always delivered in the big occasions. And that's what these new players have got to get used to, playing in the white shirt today of Liverpool. You've got to make sure you do it in the big occasion. And this is a big occasion. The manager, Arne Slot, he's talked about it. He wants to win at Wembley and win a trophy. And that's what his players have got to go out and do today.
This is Liverpool's 25th Community Shield, or Charity Shield, which it used to be called before. Liverpool have won 11 outright, and they've shared 5, and we've lost 8. Of course, the shared games were the ones that they didn't have penalty shootouts in. So, pretty decent record, 11 Charity Community Shields won outright. This is Liverpool's 46th visit to Wembley, Anfield South we call it, winning 23 out of those 45 games. But the Liverpool fans, as we look from the top of the gantry here at Wembley in the glorious sunshine, away to my right-hand side, the Liverpool players gathering on the halfway line. They will be joined by the Palace players too, as we will pay a moment's silence to our beloved, forever etched, number 20, Diogo Jota. We will never forget you, those goals you scored, the smile you wore on your face, and how happy you made us all. We love you. You'll never walk alone. Diogo Jota, Andre Silva. Oh, that's disappointing. So, about to get underway then, Liverpool attacking from right to left in this one here at Wembley. It's the FA Community Shield, Crystal Palace.